Hey guys, welcome back to the shop. My name's Adam, and here we are working on S&S, and this is going to be episode 110. So we're moving right along on this next 100 episodes, huh? I got a lot of stuff to talk to you about. We've got some announcements to make, some new developments for the channel here, and we've got some viewer mail I'm going to show you, and I got some other stuff that's come in, really interesting things that's come into the shop. Based off some of the videos that I've been doing, and I'm going to share that stuff with you. Okay, I'm going to go through a couple more of the Abom Photochallenge entries that's come in. I still got quite a few to go through, but I picked out the next two in line, so we're going to share those with you. And things have still been real busy for me at work. We've still been extremely busy down there, and everybody's putting in a lot of time and doing a lot of work, so that's continuing, which is a good thing. It's good that we're staying busy, and we got plenty of work coming in to keep our paychecks coming. Job security, should they say. I did manage to get a little bit of machine work done last weekend. I did a small job for a friend of mine, and a little bit of milling work down here on the do-all, and I made use of the mini pallet for the first time that Ken Ryder had made for me and sent to me, so you'll get to see that on video. And today I actually finished off a little bit of machine work over here on the K&T. I did another sprocket, another one of those big sprockets that I had to split. So I've got plenty of video of that I captured this week. Some of the machining that I didn't show on the last job, so we're gonna have that probably for next week to see, and I'll share it with you. I've got the last episode of the Kop-Flex coupling. We'll finish off that series today. That'll post after S&S, and seems to be another one that everybody has enjoyed watching. Everybody got a kick out of the those big broaches that I was using to broach them keyways, and seemed to just get a lot of good reviews over that job, and I was happy to share that with you. So we're going to try to keep them coming the best that I can, and keep sharing these jobs with you, because everybody seems to keep enjoying them. So let's go ahead, and we got some mail to go over. I'm going to go ahead and grab them, and let's get going on that, okay? Before we get started on the viewer mail, I want to go ahead and make the announcement. So I've got a brand new t-shirt campaign that just launched today, and that's over at tblaster.com. And what we're doing is we're relaunching the original Abom79 shirt, only this time it's going to be at tblaster.com, and it's going to be a pocket tee, which is the same shirt that we did our Shop Life campaign and our Do You Indicate Bro campaign. So it'll be the Gildan pocket tees, but it's going to have the Abom79 logo, and it'll have the Abom logo on the pocket here also. I will say that Quinn Berry always helps me with the art here. We did some revisions on the art, and actually you can see those on the intro of the video. We did a little bit of coloring on the Abom to make it so it doesn't look like there's so much shadowing in there. It's supposed to be like a reflection on there, but it turns out a little bit different on the cotton once it's printed. So we did some upgrades on the logo to make it look a little more snazzy. But anyway, they are available for 2 weeks, and prices start at $20. They go from $20 to $25 depending on what size you buy, and they're available in black, gray, and red. And I hope that you go over there and pick you one up. So I know I'm wanting some fresh shirts myself, so I'm going to be buying some for myself, and many others have messaged me about how to get a Abom shirt, so I wanted to relaunch with T-Blaster and get the pocket shirt. So now's your chance to get a pocket shirt. Like I said, you got 2 weeks, so I'm going to throw the link up there in the video. Look in the description box in the video down below, and I'll put the direct link there. You can click on it, it'll take you right to it, okay? So they do a good job. As soon as the campaign's over, they start the printing, and usually they start shipping out within about a week after the campaign, okay? So once again, the Abom79 T-shirts are back up for sale again, all right? So So this is going to be our viewer mail portion of the episode, and we're going to start with this package of goodies right here. And this was sent by Richard Cardin, and he's from Pawtucket, Rhode Island. And he sent me a nice letter right here, informing me that he served an apprenticeship in 1974 with a 76-year young Italian toolmaker, and this toolmaker ended up giving him his Gerstner toolbox, and he was telling me about it's a pristine condition because he made a cover for it and kept it covered up, so it's still it looks like a new box is what he's telling me. But he very nice letter there, but he sent some things to me that he thought that I would like to have. We're going to start with this Blanchard grinding wheel selector right here. All right, let me get to that part of the letter where he talks about that. Okay, so this is one of these guys that you roll it, and it helps you select the proper wheel to use on a Blanchard grinder. It gives you all of the different materials that you have to grind if you're using that machine, and it helps you select the wheel. But he says a friend of mine was doing building demolition of an old building in Cambridge, Massachusetts that was once home to Blanchard Company. He found in the rubble a very old dial for choosing wheels for Blanchard grinding, different materials. So that's pretty neat right there. Very cool, Richard. Thank you. Let's see, we'll just set that over there. All right, he also salvaged a bunch of these magnets out of computer hard drives, and he's seen where I think maybe it was Keith Fenner. I believe he mentioned Keith Fenner used these, but I know that I've seen some other guys across the YouTube use these. I believe I've seen John Mills use these also, and you can do some modifications to the steel and do some cutting, but these are extremely strong magnets right here. I was playing with this one just a minute ago over here on this cabinet, and they're pretty strong. So there's a good selection of those in here. Some smaller pieces. So those prove to be handy around the shop. Holding up rags to keep chips away, things like that. Just all kind of uses. All right, so that's an item right there. He also sent 6 foot of this magnetic substrate type material. This is used for things like making magnetic signs, and he says that this has proved useful for him laying on materials such as steel pipe or steel plate, and using this as a straight edge. And that's a pretty good idea. I never even thought of that. So he said, you can take this and actually wrap it around a piece of pipe, and you got your nice straight edge to trace your marks on there. Okay, so that's very cool right there too. Thank you, Richard, for that. And then we get into the magnums here. So we've got 6 clear tubes that he mentions in his letter you can use for in mill storage or tools or what have you. And he also sent along 6 of these Sharpie magnums. And these are great. As he mentions, is a great substitute for the Dykem layout fluid. I know a lot of people like to use these. I haven't gotten into the habit of using them as much as other guys, like Keith Fenner uses a blue Sharpie a lot, and I've noticed a lot of guys use the Sharpies now. But I'm going to try to start using these more often. The problem is I can't ever find one when I need it, it seems like. At work, I never have a Sharpie at work. It's one of them deals, everybody works there and everybody uses the same stuff, so you bring a Sharpie in and you get to use it one time and then you can't find it anymore, and you start getting aggravated, so you just don't bother bringing it in anymore. So, but I'm definitely going to take one of these to work, and nobody has a Magnum down there, so I'll know whose it is. I might even put my name, scribe my name on there, okay? That way I can go steal it back if I see somebody using it. All right, and then he also included, what, six of these blue trays, and he mentions in his letter that he hasn't seen me use any of the trays for going through viewer appreciation mail. And these are some really nice clean trays. I have no idea where they're from. They're just like a cafeteria use, but they're very clean. They look brand new. But Richard, I do have a couple down here that I had bought at the flea market last year, and I just use them every now and then, depending on what I'm going through. But these are bigger, and the blue probably turns out really good on video. This helps to keep the contrast there, the white adjust, and I'm going to enjoy having these around, especially for doing things over on the bench, cleaning tools and whatnot. All right. So a lot of really unique stuff right here, and you know, this is pretty cool, seeing this old Blanchard wheel. So Richard, thank you very much for all the goodies, man. I appreciate it. Our next box, this is an interesting box right here. This come in from John Crawford. I don't have any story behind this. He didn't say anything in his email other than he's got something that he wants to send me. So let's pull it out. We got another box within this box. I'm not sure exactly where John is from. I cannot make out the address on there. I'm not familiar with where that location is. And you can see on this box here we have some foreign writing. I don't know if that's Chinese or what. Maybe the viewers can tell me. I'm sure John will chime in after he sees this to tell me. But what he has sent here is some snacks from obviously across the pond. He says these are peanut pretzels. These right here he calls squirrel nuts or squirrel balls. Okay. All right, those are the sweets. Now we get into the the proteins. Well, right here we got some hot pepper paste. All right, never had hot pepper paste. We'll have to try that out. All right, buttered squid. So that's different. It looks like beef jerky. So it's been dried out. All right, so buttered squid. And then we have some spicy squid. So it's about the same as the buttered, only it's got some hot peppers on it. I think it looks like they got a dipping sauce with it also. Okay. And then the last one here, we have smoked squid legs. Very interesting. I can smell this stuff even coming out of the box. Definitely has that. It's not real strong, but you can smell it through the plastic there. So some interesting snacks here, John. We're definitely gonna have to try these. I'm not gonna open them right now and try them, so maybe next week we're gonna give them a taste test. I'm not scared to try this. I'm not saying that I'm not going to, but it is different. You know, I've never had anything like this, although I do eat calamari, you know, and I eat octopus, so I'm not scared to try it, and I'm sure these are gonna be pretty good too. So thank you, John. Get with me and let me know what the story is behind this stuff, okay? All right, we got an interesting package that's come in. You guys might be recognizing this name right here, Kop-Flex. That's the shaft couplings that you've been seeing me bore and broach on that other video series that's ongoing right now. So got some stuff from them, all right? But let me back up real quick and go ahead and share with you how this come about. So give a little shout out to a viewer of mine named Nick Vining, okay? Nick loves to watch the videos, and his girlfriend is an engineer that works for this company here. I don't know if it's this company or the parent company, but so they got in touch with Brad Davey which is a marketing manager for Regal Beloit. Regal Beloit is, you know, the parent company for Kop-Flex, and they own a few companies here. You can see on this catalog, which he sent me, got a few different companies that make the industrial products. A lot of different style shaft couplings and drive shafts. So Brad reached out to me and told me about Nick, you know, and I remember seeing a comment made on one of the past videos, and it must have been from Nick, saying something about, hey, my girlfriend works for Kop-Flex. So that was pretty cool. But anyway, yeah, Brad reached out and said he wanted to send me a couple things, and what these are like samples that a customer can look at, and you can show and see how these couplings actually work. Okay, so I'm gonna bring the camera in here closer so that I can give you a close-up of them. I'm gonna start with this one right here, though. This is another one that he wanted to send me. This is a sample, you know, or example of one of the style shaft couplings that they sell, that they manufacture. This one is called a Max C style coupling, and it uses elastomeric elements to absorb shock loads in drivetrains of cranes, conveyors, main mill drives, fans, and reciprocating engines. And he wanted to send me one to share with you guys. So pretty neat stuff right there. Looks like they machine it looks like polyurethane, and then they press it all together so it absorbs the shock loads. Pretty neat stuff. So for these, let me go ahead and pull the camera down here and give you a close-up. Back of the catalog kind of gives you an idea of the different companies that they own and the different products that they, you know, manufacture. You got gearboxes, you know, bearings and chain, other style roller bearings right there. You got your Seal Master bearings, Morse clutches, Browning, shaft mount reducers. So they make a lot of different products. But as I said, Brad said that he works for Regal Beloit, and I haven't done any digging, so I'm assuming Regal Beloit is the parent company. All right, so the couplings that you've seen me working on, these right here, these are cutouts and little sample display units that shows how they work. Very nice, very nice pieces right here. They had them chrome plated, and then they're, you know, cutouts. So we'll start with this one here. This is the one that you've been seeing me work on, okay? And at the end of the next episode, which will be after S&S, you'll see I'll show this piece also. So the center portion, your center hub, that's what I've been boring and broaching right there, okay? And this allows you to see how it actually works. So this will fit on your shaft, and then this piece, so let's see, let me get my bearing straight here. So this will be on your shaft, and then you'll install that one, and that's what drives them. You got your gear meshed in there, and then this is like a labyrinth ring, a seal, because they're pumped full of grease. I believe maybe this hole here on the couplings, you put a grease fitting and you pump it full of grease. You can see how the seal works right there. And that's one of the style shaft couplings right there. These allow for a little bit of misalignment. And they usually have some other things, I believe, that are coupled to the face here of the shaft couplings. There's a lot of different styles. There's a lot of different manufacturers, but a lot of them are the same style, just made by different companies. So this is another style right here, and I see a lot of these also. It's another style of gear coupling. It's just shaped a little bit differently. You have your gear on the inside of the sleeve portion of it, and then this one has a seal. In this case, this is a rubber O-ring here. And once these are fitted together, that will you know, it'll push on there. It's just real tight there, but it'll push on to that seal, and it'll seal the grease from coming out of it. Okay. And once you have your other one coupled together there, it'll seal it on the inside. You know, so that's pretty cool stuff right there. I didn't know that they had anything like that, but definitely a cool little teaching aid, and salesmen, you know, can share these with customers and show how these things actually work. So pretty neat stuff there. Here's a close-up of the Max C style with the elastomers in there. So once again, thank you, Nick, for being such a loyal viewer of the channel, and thank you for getting in touch with Brad over there at Kop-Flex, and thank you, Brad, for sending these cool little display items over here, and I was happy to share them on the channel here. All right, so we're going to go ahead and get to our Abom photo entries, the Abom Photochallenge entries. So our very first one, this is from John Vickers, and he's from the town of Crewe in England, and the picture here is him standing in front of what used to be known as the Rolls-Royce and Bentley Motor Company that hand-built luxury cars. He says now this particular site is dedicated to Bentley motor cars only, and it's been signed for the new Bentley SUV. And he did say that he worked there. He no longer works there now, but now his son works there, and he's a quality engineer. So very cool, kind of a historic place, and I know everybody pretty much probably knows what a Bentley is whenever you see it. Very nice cars. So John, he's a longtime viewer, always comments, leaves nice comments. So thank you for your entry, John. All right, so our next entry. This is from Darran Wood. He's from over there in the UK, over in England. And these pictures is recently he went to York and took a couple pictures there. All right, the very first one, that is a picture of him, and he calls that the Shambles, where some of the buildings date back to the 1300s, and they're very close together. The next picture here is he's standing in front of the York Minster Cathedral. It says that the building was begun in 1230 and completed in 1472. And in the pictures there, he's actually holding his phone because he uses my logo as his background on the phone there. He didn't have a printout of my logo until the next pictures. So we'll get to that one. Okay, so this is, he said he was visiting the fishing port of Whitby, which is 21 miles east of where he lives in Guysborough in the northeast of England. And that's where he had the logo printed out. And there's another one there standing near the harbor. And he wanted to point out that Whitby, he says, is quite famous for its links with Bram Stoker and his Dracula book. All right, so cool entries there, Darren. I really appreciate you sending them in. He did mention that he is a CNC machinist. He's never really had a lot to do with the manual side, so that's one of the reasons why he likes watching my channel, and he enjoys it very much. So thanks again, Darren. Hey guys, we got a little project here that we're going to work on today here in the shop. This is a little modification that's needed to be done by the motorcycle shop, and what we have is two parts right here, and I don't recall exactly what they're used for. I know it has something to do with oiling, but I just can't remember what they're used for now. But so we got two of them. All right, this one is say like a late model piece. This is a fully machined part right here. It was probably done on a CNC machine, and I guess there's a flaw in it somehow. I'm not really sure if it's just this one or they're having problems with all of them. But what he wants me to do is these two raised bosses right here. that's where it seats and seals. He said there's a copper washer that goes there. But what he needs done is actually mill those down to where it's approximately 10 thousandths above this surface here. For some reason they're too high now and it's not sealing properly. So that's what we're going to do. This one should be pretty simple. I could just clamp that straight in the vise and do that. Okay. But we have another one here. Now this is the original stuff right here. And he says the problem with this one, the copper washers seat right here where the holes are, and somebody's done some buffing and polishing on this, and they got really heavy where the copper washers sit right here, and they're not sealing. So it's worn down right there from the polishing. So what he asked me to do is come and mill that down to where it just cleans it up flat. So we need to clamp this down, and you see you've got a little raised boss on the bottom of these also. But this seems to be pretty flat right here. What I'd like to do, since we've got to do our milling there, I can't clamp that area flat. I'm going to have to clamp it here in the middle. So I think what we'll do is we'll make use of our mini pallet here that Ken Ryder had made for us. We may use this. We can set this on here, and you know, I could use, like I say, a 1, 2, 3 block like this and set it flat there and put a clamp on it. If that's a little too high, I could just use some tool bits like so. This is a box of rectangular tool bits I got. You know, maybe do something like that and just put a clamp on it and hold it down. So I haven't decided yet, but we'll figure it out as we go. So let's go on down here. We'll use the do-all mill, and we'll go ahead and get this little job knocked out. Okay, I've got the first one mounted in the vise here, just kind of lightly snugged up, and I tapped it down with the nylon hammer. And I'm assuming that it's nice and parallel because it's been machined. So, but I want to test it since we're going to try to maintain about a 10 thousandths raise from this surface here. So I want to make sure that it's sitting parallel to where I'm going to be cutting. So we're going to do a check. I'm using the little Noga arm and the collet holder right here. And we're going to use the little Brown Sharp best test. You guys should be able to see. Let me see if I can get you a better angle. That indicator usually shows off pretty good on video because of the black dial face. So hopefully you'll be able to see it all right. All right. Pretty flat. Pretty flat there. So that's about a thou and a half maybe. A little bit more that way, so we're about 2 thousandths, 2 to 2.5 across that way. But I believe we're going to leave that alone since it's pushed down flat and parallel. It's not kicked at an angle like I was hoping that it wouldn't be, so I think that's all right. So we'll go ahead and leave it like it is and go ahead and do our milling. Alright, we're going to use this insert tool that was given to me, and again, this is another one of the tools that I know a viewer gave me, and I don't recall who it was, but it's brand new. It's got an R8 shank on it, so it fits directly into the spindle, and it uses like the TPG style inserts there. I got my depth mic here and taking a reading from the register down. We're getting approximately 58. It's about 60 right there. Okay, so we've got about 50 thousandths to come off. Come up and touch. Alright, there we go. Take a little light 20 thou cut, see how that insert looks. Not bad. We'll go another 20. That'll be 40. All right, go ahead and all right, it's saying about 14 thousandths right there. It's about 14. So well, actually we only need, what, 4 thousandths then. Okay, we're going to go up another 4. Make this finished cut. All right, there it is. Those are 10 thousandths. So let's go ahead and move over to this side. And we'll cut it too. All right. So now I just need to do a little bit of deburring. We'll use a Noga and I'll use a little scraper and try to get rid of some of those. All right. All right, so here's the setup on the mini pallet. There's our other pieces that we need to come in here and just kind of mill out to where it's flat. I determined this is a 1-inch. They probably used about a 1-inch cutter because I laid a 1/2-inch radius gauge up in here and it fit really nice. Okay, so we're going to lay it on this surface here. I'm using one of these Momax tool bits, 3/8 by 3/4 tool bit. Just kind of even it out here. A couple studs, and we're going to use one of our strap clamps here. Just getting everything kind of squared up and centered. Make sure it's not tilting on one fin or the other. It's just pulled down nice and even. All right, that feels pretty tight. Let's give it a little taparoo and see how it looks. All right, that seems pretty rigid. All right. So that cutter that I was using on the last one, that's actually a 1-inch. So I think we can use it. Yeah, that's 1 inch. So I think what we can do is just kind of come in here and line it up with the cutter. Give you guys a good shot there. come on down and touch off and run it in there and see how she looks, okay? Just bringing the knee up. Okay, we'll go ahead and zero that. Alright, it's touching somewhere. I'm going to zero the Y. Don't look too bad. Let's go ahead and take a little light cut there. Seems to be centered up pretty good like that. I mean, where it's at there. Take another 5. Just keep coming into my 0. Okay. Yeah, it's actually, it looks like it's touching up here, right up there on this side. So I can see a little shiny spot over here. I don't think you can see it from that angle. So we're going to move the table that way about, let's go 5 thousandths. All right, I'm going to go up another 5. Okay. Another 5. Oh yeah. Okay. Looks pretty good now. I went in a couple more thou and it's definitely touching the back of it there. You see where the insert's cutting it now. There's still some wear on this corner right here. I know it's kind of hard to see it, but we're going to go ahead and take another 5. Let's go 5 more, and I think that might be good. That's looking pretty good now. I think that's going to work. Should give them a good seal surface there. So we'll move down and center. I'm going to go ahead and set the 0 on the knee, and I know that's going to be, that'll be on the same plane as we are there. And we'll go ahead and move on down, and I'll reposition the camera, okay? Okay, I got it centered up to where I want it. I'm touching on the back, so we've got a 0 set on Y. There's just a lot of fidgety moving around and taking up a lot of video time, so we went ahead and got that established, and we're touched off there, and we still got to come up 20 thousandths, okay? We'll just do these light cuts here and see how it looks. All right, now we're back to our 0. This one's still got some wear right here on this corner. So it looks like we're gonna have to take this one down just a little bit deeper than the other, but that's okay. I mean, I had asked them about that, and that's not gonna hurt anything there. I was just hoping that we could keep them the same just for machining purposes here. Okay, it's looking, that's almost cleaned up, so I'm going to take another 5/1000ths. All right. I think that looks good now. Yeah, that looks good. There's just a very touch of it there, but I think that's going to be all right. Yeah, they both look good. So, this one's almost DUN. Oh, handle. Go ahead and get it out of here. Okay. All right, there we go. I'll just do a little deburr real quick in the center there with our Noga tool, and that's what they want.